Samsung's Gear VR is in an interesting spot in the VR universe. It's not quite as powerful as the Oculus Rift or the HTC Vive. However, it's more mature than something like Google Daydream or Google Cardboard. There are quite a few surprisingly good VR games for Gear VR. Some, like Temple Run VR, are already mobile game classics. The mechanics vary from game to game, but the VR portion always plays a major role. Here are the best Gear VR games for Android. First game on this list is Affected the Manor. Affected the Manor is a psychological horror with some thriller elements. The game also features puzzle and adventure elements as well. You basically move about a haunted manor with a bunch of jump scares and other scary stuff. Jump scares in VR are just so much more delightful than they are on regular mobile gaming. The controls are rather simple. You either walk forward or look at stuff. Looking at stuff triggers various events and opens up doors. The simplicity of the controls with the terrific animation and creepy atmosphere make Affected the Manor an excellent horror game for fans of the genre. It's also relatively inexpensive. Dreadhalls is another great game with a very similar premise. Next game on this list is Face Your Fears. Face Your Fears is a VR thriller by Turtle Rock Studios, developers of the popular Left 4 Dead game on Steam. Face Your Fears is a horror-adventure game with plenty of stuff to freak you out that includes robots, ghosts, and other monstrous creatures. You use motion controls and head tracking for most tasks within the game. To be honest, it's a bit more simple than most games on the Gear VR platform. Other Gear VR players call it a delightfully scary time, and it plays a little bit like Dreadhall and Affected the Manor. Those who like scary stuff should definitely try this one. It's also one of the best and most popular free Gear VR games. Next up we have Minecraft VR. Minecraft VR is another extremely popular and extremely good VR game. It plays basically like the normal Minecraft game, except it's in virtual reality. You can still mine, build, farm, fish, and all of the other fun little activities you normally can. The VR aspect is fairly typical. You can simply see around yourself in 360 degrees. The controls are about the same as are the movements and combat mechanics. It's not much different than playing the 2D version. It does support 3D audio, though, and we thought that was pretty neat. It even costs the same as the mobile version of Minecraft at $6.99. This is also kid-friendly. Some people have reported bugs, though, so keep an eye out for those. Next game in over list is Virtual Reality. Virtual Reality, one of the most popular and highly rated games in the Oculus Store. It's a narrative-driven adventure game with some puzzle game elements. You play in a world transformed by artificial intelligence. The AI gives you a bunch of extra stuff to do because you're a human, and that's what humans need to feel satisfied. Players can play the minigames or break from the pattern and try to reclaim their own humanity. It's almost like Portal, Waller, and The Matrix all mixed together. This is easily one of the most satisfying games on all of the Gear VR and Oculus platform. Next up we have They Suspect Nothing. They Suspect Nothing is the second game on the list by CodeSync. It's an adventure game with some puzzle elements. You are greeted by a colorful and quirky game environment where players engage with a bunch of minigames. The game boasts 20 total minigames, some humorous dialogue, and 5 different levels. You can also create a customized avatar, pass and play multiplayer, and even leaderboards. It feels like a complete game, and we especially enjoyed its quirky and goofy nature. The game runs for $7.99, and there is a DLC pack included in that price tag. It's one of the newer games on the list as well. The next game on this list is Splat VR. Splat VR is an arcade game similar to Frogger, Crossy Road, and other similar games. Players control a little animal as you cross roads, streams, patches of grass, and other places. You must do so without being run over, run into, or falling into the water. The game also features dynamic weather seasons, and plenty of weird things that occasionally chase you. The mechanics aren't difficult, and they're also kid-friendly. Anyone who's played Frogger, Crossy Road, or similar arcade games know what's coming at them. This is a newer game and it worked fine in our testing, but you may want to test it inside of Oculus' 14-day return period. Next up we have Smash Hit VR. Smash Hit VR is a virtual reality version of one of our favorite Infinite runners. Smash Hit VR is a first-person runner with some shooting elements. You run forward infinitely, much like any endless runner. However, the game tosses various glass panes in your way. You look at them with head tracking and shoot metal balls at them to break the panels. The number of balls you have also denotes your life total. It's game over if you run out of balls. We would have liked to use a controller for aiming, as the head tracking gets a little tiresome after a while. Otherwise, this is among the best Infinite Runner experiences in VR, along with games like Temple Run VR. Last game on this list is Rush VR. Rush VR is easily one of the funniest racing games we've ever played. You and a bunch of other players race along tracks, hit checkpoints, and try to finish in the first place. You basically fly the entire time, and that adds a sense of wonder and intensity to the proceedings that you don't get with a grounded racer. The game features over 80 tracks, multiple game modes, and multiplayer with up to 3 of your friends online. It's more challenging than it looks, and it feels like a console game with an extra virtual reality element to it. It runs for $7.99 and, while pricey, it's also quite fun. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to like this video.